PaintShop Pro is full of amazing effects features that cannot be duplicated by a camera. Selective focus is one of them. With selective focus, located under the effects menu, you can create a quick miniature effect, also known as tilt shift, so that the scene in a photo resembles a miniature model or toy. The illusion is created by adjusting the depth of field, usually across a specific horizontal line, and increasing the saturation of your photo. Your depth of field can be either rectangular or circular. Let's try it out. Remember to use your navigator window to easily access all of your photos without having to leave PaintShop Pro. Open a photo into the edit mode as shown by the tab on the top of your window. Here's our first example. Notice again we are in the edit tab. Now go to Effects, Photo Effects, Selective Focus. As you can see, there is currently no difference between the before and the after versions of my photo. My controls for this effect are over here in the upper right. The three choices for areas of focus include the planar selection tool, which lets you control focus in both the upper and lower areas of your photo, the half planar selection tool, which does half of what the previous tool does, and then there's the radial selection tool, which creates a circular area of focus rather than a rectangular one. Let me start with what I feel is the more basic tool, or the half planar tool. I want to apply my miniature effect to the lower portion of the cityscape and then blur the upper portion or the background. It does help to keep a value in the feather edge slider so you can see the bar that you'll want to adjust on screen. The only horizontal line denotes the transition line between clear and blurry. I can grab anywhere below this line to adjust its position. I want to rotate the bar a bit clockwise so I can line it up with a freeway. I'll do this by positioning my cursor to the node at the top of this small vertical bar until it turns the rotate indicator and move it to the right like so. This way it lines up with the roadway. Next, I'll go ahead and adjust the blur level to around 20 and the saturation to around 50. Your choices are welcome to vary. And click OK to return to the main window to view the results. Let's try another one, this time with a full planar selection tool. This photo of a cruise ship at dock could create an interesting effect. Now we'll go back to the Effects menu, Photo Effects, Selective Focus. So here's my selection area here. Let me move this around so you can kind of see where all the different bars are. Notice we have several adjustment bars that we can choose from. The center horizontal line, this one here, denotes the center of your overall effect. The lines below and above denote the starting and ending points of your feather edge. Grabbing either of these will move the opposite one in the opposite direction. Then I'll move the feather edge lines to get the transition areas where I want them. You notice when I did this, the feather edge slider actually adjusted on its own, which means I can do this manually or using the slider. I will rotate it a bit, and now I'll add my blur effects. The blur effects are pretty strong, so I'm just going to stop at about 10 and increase my saturation to my favorite, which is about 50. Alright, let me make a couple more adjustments and click OK to return to the main window. Let's hit the undo and the redo again to see the dramatic results. Alright, one last effect. Let's try the radial selection tool. This photograph has a little more of a rounded area I would like to select, so the radial selection tool will be a good choice. Back to Effects, Photo Effects, Selective Focus. Click the radial selection tool, and you'll notice what we have here is the radial selection, and these also have nodes where your areas of feathering can be adjusted. Notice the way I've set this up makes this area clear and saturated. The secondary area where this island is only slightly blurry, while the outer area all the way out is very blurry. I think that's a nice effect. Let's crank this saturation up for an even more dramatic effect. Once we're happy with our selections and feather edge and saturation and blur, let's click OK to return to the main window. That's a nice effect. Let's try and undo and redo again. Even the tiny people look like little toys. We hope you found this easy but effective feature useful. If you have found this tutorial on YouTube, be sure to also check out learn.corel.com for more equally informative tutorials.